my name is Grace and I'm from Science Gallery Dublin. So within the SysCode project, Science Gallery Dublin set out to tackle the challenge of mental health and wellbeing management in young people. So we intentionally kept this challenge quite broad because we really wanted our stakeholders to define the areas of importance to them. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of our co-creation journey and to talk about how our problem became framed and reframed along the way. So initially, we just wanted to map the landscape of mental health and wellbeing in Ireland for young people and the challenges that young people face. So in the research phase, we set about talking to as many experts as we could. So we talked to clinicians, to researchers, we talked to charities who frequently encounter young people when they're struggling with their mental health. We talked to parents and teachers and to young people themselves, of course. So at this stage in the conversations, there was a real variety of subtopics within wellbeing, the umbrella term. So for example, some problems or issues that were raised were around mental health in the LGBTQ plus community and the struggle that young people might face in that experience. There was challenges around wellbeing for young people that are homeless. Another issue that kept coming up was social media and the negative effect that social media can have on a young person's well-being. So we took all of these insights and we started to visualize them, and then we started to plan from these individual conversations we've had with people. We started to plan our sessions where we would bring everyone together to co-create a solution together. So we set out 3 workshops of idea generation, idea refining, and idea prototyping. And these 3 workshops, stakeholders committed to attending. And within the initial workshop, we presented all of the insights that we had found, and then we allowed the stakeholders to really dive into the topics and discuss the areas of importance and to just generate ideas around them. So one group in particular really focused on social media and the negative effect social media has on a young person's well-being. So the ideas that they generated around that challenge were all about avoiding social media and encouraging young people to get outdoors and being active to escape from social media. So for example, an idea that came up with was a community initiative that would be like a hiking club that would get young people outdoors to be away from social media and to avoid overspending time, and so that they would have something active to do. So several of the youth participants contested the idea that social media is always negative for mental health. So they cited positive benefits that social media can have. And instead they brought up that it was more about having a healthy relationship with social media and understanding how to spend your time on it and what kind of people you might be encountering and what kind of experience you're having on social media and how you can curate that and manage it better. So this kind of shift in thinking led our stakeholders away from creating solutions that were about avoiding social media and being outdoors, and instead they started to generate a program, an educational program that young people would do in school that would be all about equipping them with tools to manage their mental health, with social media being a key part of that. And the end focus of that program was to be around hobbies. So having something to do and the positive benefit that has for your well-being. But the youth perspective that we had there really framed the problem away from being about avoiding social media entirely, and instead to shift to equipping young people with the tools to manage their mental health and to manage their experience. I think for that, without that diversity of stakeholders and for the insights of the young people there, we mightn't have got to that conclusion. So it was interesting for our young people to say that they frequently encounter adults who say, oh, social media is really bad for your mental health, you should get off it. And they were quite tired of that perception. And so instead they created a solution that was kind of tackling the root of it instead of avoiding the challenge altogether.